supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, said my mother to me at a bright young age. Who here has had a fond memory of a time with their loving mother taking the time out of her day to read to them? Have you, Paula? Steve, do you remember a time like that, being read to your mother as a young one? I think that all of us do. There comes a time when each and every single one of us are broken of our desire to educate ourselves, to have fun while enjoying Dr. Seuss. As I'm sure your children had many great memories with Dr. Seuss. Now, today the simple answer is teach the child to read and teach them to love what they read, and you will teach them to become their own self-educators. Now, using a book called A Thomas Jefferson Education. It breaks down education into a child's life very, very easily. People always wonder, why is the public school broken? Very simply put, it's a conveyor belt. They put you on, they got to get you out. But to gain a true education as a child, the first key is to teach them to read to them. How do you do that? You got to read the book that you're going to read to them. If you've never read Dr. Seuss, why would you tell your kid to read it? It's a must. Whatever you have your child do in an education format, you need to do it. The next step, as they get out of toddlerhood and into their 8 to 10 range, is to give them what we call a Young Classics reading list. And to give a few examples of that. You have wonderful ones like A Christmas Carol that have a great movie that you can share with them as well, for them to see it, hear it visually on top of their own personal reading. You have the Grimm fairy tales, The Gift of the Magi, Peter Rabbit, and Peter Pan. All of these great stories are things that inspire a young child to dream, to think on their feet, and to want to learn more about what life has to offer. Once they get into teenagehood, it's a little harder. But to keep their imagination alive, you have A Journey to the Center of the Earth. You have Robert Frost's The Road Not Taken, which teaches fantastic life lessons. And by that age, if you have helped them properly be able to gauge and have that desire to read, they're going to know what that story's talking about. They're going to make the right choices with their friends, their family, and their own education, continuing into adulthood. As you get into adulthood, boy, you got some good ones. You got Aristotle. You have Bastiat, if I'm saying that correctly. You've got Cicero with the Republic and the laws. Things to help you not be stuck in the government, to be able to take control of that and help our nation grow and develop. So simply put, when a person asks, how do you do it? How do you educate your child? Again, you teach them to read, and you teach them to read the classics. As you do that, the next step is to have them do what we're doing right now. Speak it. Actually take the time, sit down and listen to them talk about what they learned from those novels. And of course, in preparation, have them write it. Write down the things that they wrote. And just like a river runs through it, when the little boy hands this paper to his dad, and his dad sits there with his glasses. Do it over, son. Son takes that paper and he does it over. And after a few attempts, he turns it into his dad, and his dad says, good. How simple. No judgment, but a simple acceptance, or do it again. Make it better. And meanwhile, if you paid attention, what did the dad have on his desk? He had books. He was also engaged in study and reading to set the example for his son. As you carry on through that, you've touched on not only the classics to teach a person character, a child I should say, you've also engaged in writing, arithmetic. If you're a true classic searcher, there is lots of books like Chaim Potok's The Chosen. There's arithmetic in classics. But not only that, but you are also getting public speaking. You're learning how to engage with your audiences, show true care, and you're gaining those fundamental things that our country as a whole right now is lacking. And that is to be a true, healthy being within ourselves and to be a productive positive member of our society. So with that, I challenge each and every one of you, if you have a young one who you want them to have a firm foundation for success in life, teach them to read, have them write about what they read, speak about what they read, and participate with them in each and every project. And with those basic fundamentals, you will ensure a solid foundation for them to want to educate themselves their whole life. Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you.